In the headlines, Atiku takes campaign to Niger State, says PDP has solution to security challenges. 2 school pupils abducted in Nasarawa rescued from captivity. 60 reported dead after cholera outbreak in Cross River State. Away from Nigeria, crowds gather as Tanzanian opposition holds first rally since ban lifted. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. And now the details. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has said that only the PDP has solutions to Nigeria's challenges, including the current security challenges facing the country. He said his administration will also ensure completion of Baro Port that was started by late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua and revive the country's economy to create jobs for the teeming youth. Addressing supporters at the presidential rally in Minna, the Niger State capital, Atiku said that the PDP-led government will also focus on road infrastructure and quality education and called on eligible voters to vote the party at all levels in the forthcoming general elections. Earlier, the national chairman of the PDP, Yocha Ayu, and other stakeholders all drummed support for the party and assured of a better Nigeria under the leadership of the PDP. Former Enugu State Governor Chimaroke Nnamani has protested his suspension by the People's Democratic Party, saying his right to a fair hearing was allegedly violated. The suspension of Nnamani, one of several others sanctioned on Friday, was based on allegations of anti-party activities leveled against the former Enugu, that's the Enugu East Senator, and was taken by the PDP's National Working Committee. Now, responding to the punitive action against him, Nnamani took to Twitter on Saturday morning to disclose that the decision and announcement of his suspension came to him as a rude shock and a huge surprise. The former governor added that he was never at any time notified of any petition or complaint against him or informed of the grounds that formed the decision of the PDP NWC to suspend him from the party. He appealed to his followers to remain calm and law-abiding while he continues his campaign to a hopefully victorious conclusion. Now, 2 of the 6 kidnapped pupils of LEA Primary School, Al-Waza village of the Nasarawa State, have been rescued by the joint effort of the police and other security agencies. The public relations officer of the Nasarawa State Police Command, Ramhan Nansel, confirmed this in a statement made available to journalists in Lafia. He said the pupils were rescued at Sabon Kwara village, Jinkwe of Obi local government area of the state as a result of sustained pressure mounted on the abductors by the combined search and rescue team. He explained that the rescued pupils are Vision Mbogadu, George, and Peace Amos. According to him, the victims have been taken to the hospital for medical examination and will be thereafter handed over to Duma local government chairman to reunite with their family and parents. Police in Niger State have arrested 14 persons suspected to have connections with the killing of the village head of Lambata, Muhammad Abdul Safur. Now, late Abdul Safur was killed on January 14 at his residence in Lambata, Gurara local government area over leadership tussle, while the killers inflicted injuries on his younger brother, Ibrahim Muhammad. The State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, Wasiu Abiodun, who announced this in a statement, said that the suspects were arrested on the order of Commissioner of Police, Ogundele Ayodeji, who ordered a house-to-house search of the area. Abiodun said that during interrogation, the suspects confessed that they were hired by Umar Ilyasu Sarki, who claimed that the 37 district heads in the community were loyal to him and that they did not recognize the late village head as their leader. Similarly, Abiodun said that 19 persons had been arrested in connection with the burning of a police divisional station in Kafin Koro, Paikoro local government area. He said that during the attack, the building was set ablaze with 4 motor vehicles and 10 motorcycles, valuable public office documents, while valuable exhibits such as electronics, laptops, handsets, computer sets, among others, were vandalized and stolen. The police command in Osun State says that 2 people were killed during a clash between cult members in Oke-Bale area of Oshogbo. The command's spokesperson, Yemisi Opalola, on Friday in Oshogbo said those killed were members of the cult groups involved in the clash. Opalola said many cult members who sustained machete cuts and other forms of injuries were in various hospitals in Oshogbo receiving treatment. She assured that the command will go after the fleeing cult members with a view to arresting and prosecuting them in order to make the state safe. The crisis, according to reports, started at Oga Junction in Oke-Bale area of Oshogbo when some cultists abducted a member of a rival cult group. This made colleagues of the abducted cult member to mobilize and storm the hideout of the rival group, which prompted the use of dangerous weapons by both sides. Now, students of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, have expressed displeasure over the incessant robberies and killings occurring around the school environment. In a peaceful demonstration in the school, they said that the incident, especially in the Ifite axis of the school, has now become a recurring decimal and wondered why the relevant agencies have not intervened. Addressing the students, the president of the Student Union Government, Charles Obina, pleaded with the students to keep calm as security measures have been put in place to address the situation.
Last week, a student of ours, Daniel by name, died, and we were at his burial on 7th of this month. And it was very hard for me. The parents, everybody, were ashamed of the school, ashamed with everything. And the worst thing is that our own VC of this school did not see one thing, did not see one single thing.
They have assured us that insecurity in Ifite and the school environs will be a thing of the past. Judging from the fact that they have deployed security apparatus like Blue Shield and the police now, that they are on our matter, that is what they assured us.
I've called on the state government, I've called on the relevant stakeholders, but it's getting worse. So at a point, the students decided to stage a protest. So we are on the point of controlling the students because we really do not want to protest. Somebody like me always said, calm down, solution is coming. And thank God today we were able to calm the student down and everything is working very well. As you can see, there's an ongoing effort by the police. Giving us 1 week is not a guarantee that the robbery will stop, but they say that within 1 week they will find a solution to this problem, and that is what they just did now. If you look around, you see the police everywhere, you see the Blue Shield, but we are praying and we are hoping that it will last. The sustainability, the landlords must come into effect this time around. It's not going to be business as usual. These landlords must come in now to make sure that there is sustainability of Blue Shield in Ifite, and that is what the students need now.
Residents of Obura local government area of Cross River State have called on the state government to urgently rescue them from cholera outbreak that is said to have claimed over 60 lives. According to reports, the council's dependence on a river as the only source of water has resulted in the increasing rate of mortality across 14 wards, with over 200 infected persons as well as over 60 deaths. A traditional ruler in the area, Ohorodo, one of Okum Kingdom, Ovan Robert, expressed displeasure over the situation and called on the government to intervene by providing them with potable drinking water to avoid another outbreak. The major sources of income in Obura, one of the 18 local government areas in the state, are fishing and selling of sand from the river for survival. The state government visited the community to sensitize the people on the importance of maintaining proper hygiene and advise them to visit the healthcare facilities whenever they notice any health challenge. Now, the Commissioner for Health, Janet Ekpenyong, promised to ensure that adequate potable water will be provided by the government as a replacement for the river source. Traders in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, have appealed to the federal government to further extend the deadline for the phasing out of the old denominations of the newly redesigned Naira note. They made the appeal during a sensitization walk organized by officials of the nation's apex bank, the central bank across major markets. The report.
It is a little over a week until the deadline announced by the Central Bank of Nigeria for phasing out of the old 1,000, 500 and 200 Naira notes that were recently replaced with new notes. Officials of the nation's apex bank are leaving nothing to chance as they are seen here creating more awareness on the need for traders to comply with the new directive. The central bank took its message to the heart of major markets like Aleshinloye Dugbe, Bodija, and other strategic trading points. Their message is clear. They want traders here to deposit their old notes to commercial banks in compliance with the CBN directive.
We are aware of that, and we are conducting spot check to make sure that the banks dispense the new Naira notes in the ATMs. And we are here to tell them that they should go to the ATMs and collect the new Naira notes. The CBN is doing all we can to make sure that the new Naira notes are available to the banks, and we ensure that they put them in the ATM cards, in the ATM machines, so that the banks can dispense these new Naira notes. They have been instructed to load their ATMs with the new Naira notes, the 200 Naira, the 500 Naira, and the 1,000 Naira notes. You should try and deposit your money before the 31st of January in your various banks, and the banks are supposed to bring this money to Central Bank for deposits.
Traders who spoke with newsmen say they are not happy with the scarcity of the new notes and the difficulty in depositing the old notes, a situation they said is adversely affecting their businesses. They appealed for an extension of the deadline.
The first ATM point that I withdraw, even yesterday I withdraw at one of ATM points here in Dugbe. There is no any new Naira note there. Yes, we have been trying to convince our people here to get their old note to the bank so that they can get new Naira notes. This program today is very good, but the only thing I see that money is not circulated in the bank. One, and you know, any POS, if you go to POS, they want to withdraw from POS, you don't get that money. That money is not circulated at all. What I can advise the bank that is for them to extend the date of declaration of the money.
Officials of the CBN insist that there is no going back on the January 31st deadline and called on the traders to adhere with the directive or risk losing their monies.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at health and economic benefits of soybeans. Details of this and more after the break. This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Daily Trust presents 20th Daily Trust Dialogue. Theme: Interrogating the 2023 Presidential Agenda. Panelists:
Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika, former Chairman, First Bank of Nigeria.
Professor Jibrin Ibrahim, Professor of Political Science and member of the Board of the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD. Dr. Yetunde Anibaba, Lecturer, Analysis of Business Problems, Lagos Business School. Dr. Eugene Enahoro, Human Capacity Development Specialist and CEO, Heltoni Services Limited.
Chairman of the event, John Cardinal Onaikon, Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja.
Date: Thursday, 25th January 2023. Time: 10 a.m. Venue: NAF Conference Center and Suites, Gwarimpa Expressway, near Next Shopping Mall, Kado, Abuja. For sponsorship and branding participation, contact 081 00 49 1948, 081 65 32 0660, or 080 33 92 8902. The event will be broadcast live on Trust TV.
documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. It's the news updates on Trust Television. Here's a look at the top stories again. Atiku takes campaign to Niger State, says PDP has solution to security challenges. 2 school pupils abducted in Nasarawa rescued from captivity. Now, despite several efforts by women-led groups and civil society organizations, stakeholders say that much still needs to be done to end gender-based violence in Nigeria. To this end, more than 983 cases of GBV have been reported via an application designed to help victims of GBV in Adamawa to access services without revealing their identities. Salis Lawan in this report examines why there has been a surge in gender-based violence in Nigeria.
According to the app inventor, Durung Samuel, who is an indigene of Adamawa, the 983 cases of gender-based violence which have been recorded from the inception of the application is not limited to Adamawa alone, but across the 6 registered states, which include Abuja, Yobe, Gombe, Ibadan, Osun, Lagos, and some part of Delta and Cross River State. While giving an overview of the application, Samuel also explained how the app helped to minimize the problems of reporting gender-based violence and crimes such as rape in Adamawa.
The functionality of the app is basically connecting survivors of gender-based violence to service providers from their immediate community. What the app does is to help these survivors to identify service providers that are within their community that are ready to help them, cutting across the police, NGOs, and civil society organizations that are there to support.
Stakeholders say cases of gender-based violence are growing as a result of insurgency, forced and early marriages, as well as physical, mental or sexual assault on women and girls. They say 1 in every 3 Nigerian women have experienced physical violence.
The victims are always shy. They are afraid. They don't know what will happen to them. You understand? We have a case whereby a girl that is underage was raped. They don't want to report the case. In fact, there is even a threat posed on them. If you say anything, we'll deal with you. And they dare not talk because of the fear of unknown, because of the fear of what will happen to me. If I say it, they may kill me or they may kind of prison me. Because of the lack of enlightenment, lack of awareness session, lack of sensitization increases the rate of gender-based violence. So it's now a duty upon us as GBV actors to make sure that we enlighten the society. We create awareness. We try to sensitize them to know what gender-based violence is, to also know the types of gender-based violence, because some of them think that is a normal thing, not knowing that they can come any day, anytime to assess the service so that the issue can be addressed immediately.
With the recent development, victims of GBV are finding it easy to report their cases and get justice while their privacy is protected.
Can report a case and get supported without their identity being exposed, without the fear that the person would judge them, without the fear that the person would blame them, as well as some of the survivors that we know. So we realize that the major challenge around reporting gender-based violence cases is the issue of identity.
They are scared of reporting. So when they are scared, perpetrators go on inflicting all sorts of violence on survivors. Okay? So what we normally do is to reassure them, assure them at all the time that these cases are sensitive cases that are highly confidential, that are not being disclosed to anyone. Because one of the key guiding principles of GBV case management is confidentiality.
They call for greater cohesion among the various institutions and individuals working in the human rights space to end gender-based violence in Nigeria. From Yola, Silas Lewan, Trust TV News.
Nigeria is one of the largest producers of soybeans with annual production of over 600,000 metric tons. Soybean is a species of legume native to East Asia, widely grown for its edible bean, which has numerous uses. Now, thousands of Nigerians depend on soybean as a source of protein and other nutrients. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Soybean is processed to produce a homemade cake known as awara. Awara is widely consumed because it is being made from soybean, creating jobs to thousands of Nigerians. For more than a decade, Munari Joseph has been frying awara. According to her, some customers who could not afford the high cost of meat have resorted to awara for protein.
So soybeans is very important, it's very good for the body of women and man. The awara is good, especially for the milk. It's very good. For the awara, we even cook the awara. Awara is very sweet.
Some customers gave reasons of consuming awara, which is 100% product of soybean.
And I like eating this awara because it's proteinous, and aside from that, this very awara is a kind of different from other awaras. You understand? The nutrients and what you used to give is far more than what you can think. So we are not just eating it because we are hungry, we are eating it because there's more to it. Yeah, the soybeans, the content.
Agriculturalists say although less input is required in the production of soybean, the crop has a lot of nutrients that has health benefit to the human body.
Soybean has the highest crude protein among all the families of the Fabaceae. That is, when you talk of the groundnut, the bambara nut, the chickpea, the pigeon pea, and others, the crop with the highest number of crude protein is soybean. So that makes it, the most important source of protein when making poultry feed. That's number one. Number two, the oil. The oil of soybean is the one that the whole world is looking for. Why? Because of the avoidance of disease. Before, the market used to be the oil from groundnut, but with the recent development of diseases, attacking especially fungus, what is called aspergillus, attacking the groundnut, causing cancer. So now people are running away from the oil. The oil now that has the market value is that of the soybean.
The agricultural experts believe mass production of soybean will provide job opportunities to Nigerians and boost the country's gross domestic product GDP. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Chairman of the Ibadan Depot of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, Bukola Motiu, has blamed the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation for the lingering scarcity of product. The Ibman boss stated this in Ibadan during a chat with Trust TV. Motiu, who described the ghost scarcity as unbearable and long overdue, called on government to put its best foot forward and find a lasting solution to the problem in the interest of ordinary Nigerians.
The first one is that I want the masses to understand us and to bear with us that we are not the causes of all this persisting fuel scarcity and outrageous prices that we are buying. It's affecting us as a business owner in the industry. So that's the first one. The second one is that I will appeal to the federal government through NNPC, DPI, NNDPRA, and all those security agents that they have the authority over this issue. It's overdue. They should look into it and find a lasting solution to it. We cannot continue this way. Everything is, the inflation on all products is becoming unbearable. And we should learn from the past. So I'm appealing to them that they should do the needful. They have all what it takes to do it. I've said it. They can contact their depot staff across the nation to give them lists of stations within the town. If they do that within 2-3 days, everything will be normalized. Once the supplies is enough, nobody will go and buy at outrageous prices.
Away from Nigeria, Tanzania's main opposition party on Saturday held its first mass rally since the lifting of a ban imposed in 2016, raising hopes the government is committed to increased political freedom in the East African nation. Thousands of Chadema supporters gathered at the Furashisha grounds in the lakeside city of Mwanza, draped in the party's blue, red and white colors. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has this month lifted the ban introduced by her hardline predecessor, John Magufuli, who was nicknamed Bulldozer for his uncompromising leadership style in 2016. The government's change of heart comes as Hassan, in power for 22 months, seeks to break with some of Magufuli's policies. Now, the move was cautiously welcomed as a gain for democracy by rights groups and the country's opposition parties. And that's a wrap on Trust News Update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube channel. I am Ayuba Ile. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.